Hello, I'm Kim Sauer at SMTAI in Chicago. With me today is Tom Forsyth from Kyzen. Tom, it's great to see you time in Chicago at a brand new booth with a great new look as well. So when did you rebrand and what was the thinking behind that?
Well, the project's been going on for nearly a year, actually, and we looked at ourselves and realized that when we put our branding tools together and our image pieces, we were a very different company really 10 or 15 years ago when it got any kind of serious update. And we looked at it and said, well, gee, what are the core elements? Well, the core of Kyzen starts with the science and the technology. We win lots of awards. Well, the reason we do that is we make lots of new products. We're trying to keep pace with the innovation that's going on in our world. But if you talk to our customers, while they'll often speak of the products, what they always speak about are our people, what the lab people might have done to help out something unusual that happened or some system upset that we came in and helped debug. So this whole idea of bringing science and care together it really captured who we are. And at that point, it was a case of, all right, well, then how do we, that is who we are. We didn't want to change ourselves. We just simply wanted to refresh the communication scheme. And that's sort of where it began. And then once you pull that together, of course, the website got relaunched, and that is an enormous amount of work for anyone that's been involved in it. Fortunately, the team did about 99% of it instead of me. But it also brings the same message forward, and just the idea of helping our customers better understand, recognize it. In fact, here everyone says, well, yeah. It's kind of been the reaction, along with the amazing pictures of some of our folks.
Well, sometimes it's quite good just to look at your DNA. What are we about? Refresh it, and yeah, exactly what you say. Pick out those key messages. You're doing a great job. Great images. It's very communicative, and like you said, it's the people that really matter at Kyzen as well, and that
really
relationship.
Is. And we're big believers in being out near the customer. Our team we've got staff in 28 or 9 cities and 8 or 10 countries, I think it is, on 3 continents, out trying to be close to the customer, so when things come up, we can help them. Customers, the staffing, as we all know, at the assembly world are much lower than it was years ago. It's very difficult for those engineers to be deep experts in every element of the line. It's virtually impossible. We're that appendage, we're that tool, but if we're not nearby, if we can't respond and be there, well, then it doesn't help.
Sure.
So that's a key, and that's always been a core philosophy of ours, and continues to be now.
And here at SMTAI, you're there. I mean, you're in the midst of very technical people with a very good technical program. They come out on the show floor, quite a small, focused show here. What's your approach to this show? What's been the feedback here for you?
Well, the key here is engagement. This is where, the smartest guys in the room are. They're all here. All the tools that we're using right now, all these people invented. They make them every day, and so what we try to do is stay engaged. We've got giving, I don't know how many papers we're giving ourselves, or we're joint papers with customers or other technology folks. We have people that are on the committees. Sometimes they're the chair of the committees. We're very involved in the cleaning handbooks. Where one of my partners, Mike Bixaman, led a very large committee to do that a year or so ago. Debbie Carboni just got elected to the board, the overall board. We believe in engaging with the association and embracing it, because that's where our customers are. Our customers are in those technical conferences. Our prospects are in there, and we want to be in there with them, learning, trying to help them learn about our technology, but learning more about what their needs are, because that's where tomorrow's products come from, right? It's not always the flux that creates the dilemma. The design can create the dilemma. A new package can create the dilemma that now needs to be resolved. And the only way to see that stuff coming is to be in those committee meetings, because that's where the committees and the tech conferences where people are talking about the next new thing. And of course, they don't all catch, right? I mean, innovations like that, where there's a lot of great ideas and only a few of them wind up succeeding for whatever reason. But we've got to see them coming, because we can't develop these new products in an hour. The science part's real. There's some new developments coming out that'll be introduced in the spring at Apex that have been a year or more under development. Hundreds of test formulations to try to optimize things. And so if you wait till the 11th hour, you need to be lucky. And while we hope we're lucky, we don't want that to be our plan.
Yeah, sure. And this provides you with a great platform just for that exchange, I suppose,
absolutely.
to get the feedback.
And that's part of having a place to sit down that's quiet, to talk about things. What are they worried about? What are their challenges? What's their technology roadmap? Where do their bosses need them to go? How do we help them get there? That's a key challenge. That's what drives our R&D lab is, the advantages. We hear that from the customer. Then we've developed tools over the years, standardized approaches, databases that have standardized data, so I can compare data from 10 years ago, and it's apples to apples. Let's face it, some of these fluxes have a really long run. They evolve and get improved. Well, we've got that data to share and to refresh and to compare our own formulas against their formulas and see what goes on. We're often part of the development cycle for a lot of the flux and paste folks. They'll send us things with experimental names. I remember a few years ago, someone introduced a new product at Productronic. I was like, wow, that name doesn't sound very familiar. And I went and asked him, I said, have you sent us? Oh, yeah, you tested it under XYZ, whatever. You tested it like 6 months ago. Well, good, that was the right answer. Because it does take a long time. Sometimes innovations are disruptive, right?
Yeah.
They not only disrupt their competition, but they can disrupt associated things.
Yeah.
And so, that's why we're always putting out new products, because our world is one of lots of changes.
So I'm sure there are lots of challenges, but if you could summarize like the top 3, what would they be?
Well, I think right now the key thing is, of course, we're sort of all done with lead-free. Lead-free is now mundane and the norm. Frankly, it's mostly about form factors and sizes. We all want our phones, even though the iPhone's a little bit bigger than it used to be, it's still mighty darn small for what's inside. And getting into those tight and confined areas, whether it's under a package or whatnot, is always one of the challenges. People are trying to be more green. The regulations are continuing to change, so that's a key thing. But I think probably the number one tends to be form factor, and then of course this is a very competitive market where, of course, economics are the key. New technologies need to be better and faster, but they also need to be cheaper. They need to give better value for the customer. So those are the ones that are always pushing. The technology as well, the economic and the regulatory.
Yeah, great. Well, lots of challenges ahead, and I'm sure you'll have some great conversations here at the show.
Oh, sure.
Once again, congratulations on the new look.
Thank you very much.
And I look forward to seeing you at the next show.
Absolutely. Take care.
Thanks a lot.